Welcome to day 25 of our January Challenge 2020 and our second day of looking gently at Sylvia Wood's arrangement of Pachelbels Canon. And in these next few days we're just dipping into parts of it. We're not doing the whole piece, but just to get that general feel so that we would feel able to play along with others, even with our own segments. Okay, so we're going to look at the second line of the easy harp solo part in the key of D. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the left hand. And what we're playing here is the same notes that we did yesterday. We did D, A, B, F, G, D, G, A. We did it slower than that, but we did those notes yesterday. That is still the start note of each one, but we're going to do an arpeggio on each one now. So an arpeggio is the main note, the D, miss a note, put next finger 3 on the next one, miss a note, put finger 2 on, miss a couple of strings to then complete the octave from the original note. But what we want to try and do is actually aim with our thumb to where it's heading and allow our hand to open up. So we're going to have a D arpeggio, and you can place that, and then you can practice moving to the A. And if you just focus with your thumb, F, G next, down to D, back up to the G, and up onto the A. Okay, and it feels quite high up, but if you just allow your thumb to focus. So don't be put off by all the ledger lines in the music. If you are confident and you know that this is an arpeggio and it's on these same notes, D, A, B, F, G, D, G, A, then you can just do the arpeggio shape. So I'm going to shout out in advance so that you can be prepared to move, and we'll try counting through this, okay? So I'll give you a 3 and 4 and to start. 3 and 4 and A, B, F, G, D, G, A. Okay, and actually that's maybe a little fast. Maybe take it a tiny bit slower. So again, starting on a very high D, okay, and the notes I was calling out there was an advanced call to help you know where you were heading next. We'll try that again. 3 and 4 and A, B, F, G, D, G, A. And we'll go again up to D, A, B, F, G, down to D, up to the G, and up to A. See if you can do it again, up to the D, and well done if you managed to do that even without me calling it out. Super. Now, you'll see how we have the repeat marks there. And we have these minims in the top hand, or these half notes in the top hand. The original version of Pachelbels Canon, it starts with the cello line, which is what we did yesterday, and the accompaniment feel to it. And then we have the first violin starting its melody from the F sharp. And it's just a single melody line at that point. And then when it's worked through all 8 chords over the course of the 4 bars, it then moves on to the lower note of these two, which is the D. Da, dee, dum. But as it's playing those, the second violin part has joined in with the original high notes. So actually what would be nice to do is on the first playthrough, just play the top note. Just play the F, E, D, C, and so on. And then on the second, on the repetition, bring it into the thirds of the D below it. And it's just stepping down, stepping down, stepping down, starting on an F, going as far as A, back up to C, heading back up, okay? So let's give that a go now. I'm going to play both hands. If you want to just do top hand, you're very welcome. And probably you could just do this with finger 2, because it's not really possible to place through because your left hand notes are in the way a little. So you could just use finger 2 and just concentrate on getting a really beautiful quality note. Okay, here we go. 3 and 4 and. Something when you had both notes involved, the lower note was also the note that your left hand thumb was wanting to be on, so there's an element then of having to wait a little bit before you can get the thumb on in the left. So it might be that you place the triad element with 4, 3 and 2 and then hop on with your thumb when it's become available for you. Okay, so I'm going to play through that one more time, and you can join in with as much as you feel happy with. If putting all of that together is too much, you could quite happily and quite acceptably play the melody line with that original and just bring out those notes again like we did on the first line. So that would sound together. You'd have lots of gaps, but so you just need to count to do it. Okay, so you could do that if you wish, okay? All right, so I'm going to play the second line with the repeat. I'm starting with just individual notes, the highest note, F, E, D, C, and so on. And then on the repeat, I'm going to bring it in as thirds. Here we go. 3 and 4 and. So something to take away and work with and play around with. Well done.